for all good things to happen during this year. So indeed we are fortunate. It is by the boundless grace of the Guru that we have been blessed with this wonderful opportunity here. It is said often that the simplest way or the most spontaneous way to reach God, to be a recipient of God's grace, is by performing bhakti, it is said, or devotion. To be devoted to the Lord is the simplest and easiest and most spontaneous way to attain His feet, to be recipients of His grace, it is said. It makes us wonder if it is that simple after all. That is what we wonder if we try and read the things that have been written about bhakti, about bhaktas. If we read all that fine print, if we read it carefully, it makes us wonder if it is that simple after all, because after saying so, while talking about that bhakti, it is said kadalagi kasindu kannir malgi, to have that kind of unconditional love, that love that emanates from the deepest within, which has no intent but love for the sake of love, just that. All these things are said while talking about what bhakti is. There is a specific definition for all these things. And if we look at the state of bhaktas, the great devotees, the Nayanmars, the Alvars, Arunagirinathan, Pattinatha, all of them, if we look at their states, if we look at the frame of mind in which they were in, the kind of devotion that they had towards their Lord, it draws a very, very clear picture. It paints a very clear picture before our eyes, where we feel, if I were to get to that point, really, it is close to impossibility. It's not happening, because somebody like Meera or like Tyagaraja Swamigal or like the Nayanmars, they still sing the glories of the God. They cry before Him and they beg Him and they tell Him, I am not getting a hold of this thing called bhakti. It's eluding me. I don't understand what bhakti is. So please bless me with that bhakti, is what they are saying in that state, the ones that we celebrate as the personification of bhakti itself. So to say that perform bhakti, it is the most spontaneous thing to do. It is very simple. Such things, if we look at it that way, it seems like an impossible task to do. If somebody were to tell me that I am suffering from headache, it's a splitting headache, it's on one side of the head and I get it whenever I become tense, I understand that very well. It's very easy for me to understand that and get a grasp of it, to the point where I can even empathize with that person. Why? Because I have had the same thing before. I have had such headaches before, and I know how it feels when somebody has a headache like that. But if somebody were to tell me, cry for God, not thinking of your problems, but cry for Him, because you want to attain Him alone. Cry for the sake of God. Those tears that you said, like kadalagi kannir malgi, he says, this is not something that I get a grasp of at all. If I really want to pursue it seriously, how can I cry for Him? I do not know how to do that. If at all tears come in my eyes when I stand before my Guru, or when I stand before that Lord in that Sannadhi, it is only because I am thinking of the issues that I have to deal with the next day.